Ji haan, I hope you've had my pinny. I certainly have. I had my super brain food pinny before I clock in another 26 minutes of the show because I need my brain power, I need my brain boosting, but I also need good energy to start my day tomorrow, fine and early, 3 a.m. in the morning. But going on to the PINNIYA, order them. We've got huge numbers now, winter warming, and also road runner PINNIYA, jeda ek pura show kita siga about road runner for drivers and people who are in long haulage and taxi drivers doing night shift and day shift. All those things, PINNIYA are on different formulas. But on the closing show was change. To change somebody's habit. Habituals, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਇੱਕ nature ਬਣ ਗਿਆ, ਇੱਕ ਉਹ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ stigma ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ. To change a baby's habit of drinking tea and coffee early in the morning, they think, oh, ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਮਨਜੀਤ ਕੋਲ ਗਈ ਉਹਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਚਾਹ ਛੱਡ ਦੇਣੀ ਆ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ? They have that fear. What is in tea? One of the most acid drinks to disturb your pH levels of your stomach? There's nothing. It's dead food. Your body does not need it. Have a hot glass of water with nimbu and agave. Did you see my last show, by the way? I gave a beautiful recipe about the agave and the lemon and that wonderful gooseberries. Maybe you missed it out, but stay tuned. Anyway, so chal rahe ne, tusi apne aap nu kiਵੇਂ ਬਦਲੋਗੇ? I can do so much. I can advise. The same case, you can take a donkey to the water, but you can't force it to drink. ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਖੁਦ ਦੇ ਹੈਬਿਟਸ ਇੰਨੇ ਸਟਬਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, very easy to blame the other party or the practitioner, but they have not made the changes. They are still having sugar. ਉਹ ਚਾਹ sugar ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੀ, ਅੱਛਾ ਬਿਸਕੁਟ ਖਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ, but you have already said ਬੀਬੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਫੰਗਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, so don't have yeast, don't have bread, don't have biscuit, don't have cha, avoid that and have some other things and almond milk. But they're not willing to change because ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ habit ਹੈ and they are in their comfy zone. And ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ comfort zone ਤੋਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਿਕਲਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ, out of fear of change. Yeah, but I as a practitioner should do everything for you. I should give you everything in one little injection and poink, you know, whether it's in the buttock or somewhere, to give you an injection and then that's it, you're fine. It doesn't happen like that. Once you understand how you know, nutritional naturopathy remedies, colon cleansing, how does NES work, how does Ayurveda work, how does homeopathy work, nutritional support, juice diet, ultra toning, cosmolite, anti-aging program, and a whole host of good foods and bad foods. This is my practice, and that's what I wanted to add, in which globally and in the whole nutshell, I do all treatments, whether you have fibromyalgia or lichen planus, or you have grade 1 cancer, or you have constipation, you have Crohn's, you have colitis, you have blood pressure, diabetes, you have constipation, you have OCD behaviors, you have depression, you have bipolar, you are psychosomatically depressed, you have sleep problems. I can go on and on. You have joint aches. You know, and the will to live is gone because there's nothing new to see or face in world. I give you that strength, but that strength also comes from you. That strength comes from believing in Akal Purukh Sache Pasha. Things don't happen overnight. So really, habitual changing is a real issue. A big thing. What I'm saying is stop playing with your life. Apni zindagi naal ek khed nahi hegi. So don't play with your life. Bad habits versus good habits. Bad habits nu change karna to good habits, ek discipline chahiਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ. We pick up the bad habits quickly, but to go back to the good habits can be a matter of will. You need somebody to guide you. You need somebody to give you the strength. You need to chill out. You need to remove all this mountain of baggage you have in your mind to say it's, you know, what I want to do. Bad habits could be bad timekeeping, you know, not getting up in time, not getting to work in time, not doing your housework in time, not cooking on time. And all these things are, you're racing against a clock. One of the worst things in life, I think, is the person who made fire. Fire to baad industrial revolution aa gaya. And the person who created time, or time was created by God. If you look at the oldest pyramids in Mexico, the Sun Pyramid is a literally 0.000 degree straight up to the sun. So we're looking at that time of Aztecs and Romans having the knowledge of time. And if you see some sundials in the old Roman villages, they already knew about time, they knew about plumbing, they knew about sanitization, and then something happened in the world that things shut down and we started, and human revolution started again. So timekeeping is so important. A timekeeping, which are you doing your regular exercise, which is very important. Are you walking with Mother Earth? The increase of oxygen and the decrease of carbon dioxide through deep breathing, through silence, through just your time, spaced out of everything from the world, and going for a 10-minute, 20-minute walk. Even if you have stopped at the motorway, do a 10-minute walk, connect with Mother Earth. For the lorry drivers, mini cab drivers, I'm sure you'll find Greenland somewhere in your service stations. Stop and walk. Just don't sit in the car and sleep it out, because the more fresh air you'll have, you'll get more oxygen. What is the biggest problem of demise in a body is the lack of oxygen, which leads on to increase of the bad gases and carbon dioxide, through which cells degenerate, and you are now in a toxic syndrome of gases which your body does not need, and probably only doing 25% of inhalation from tunni. You should be able to breathe from your belly button out, which is the deepest form of breathing. But if you have a large abdomen or and you got another bag of flour from there, you cannot breathe deep breathing. First, you need to look at why you ended up ending that belly. Number two, you need to start breathing properly, because when your belly is huge, your rib cage is shoveled up, and there comes a smaller spacing of all the organs being a little bit gapped down, and that energy of human electrical field going up and down will be hindered. It would be compromised. It's like me saying to you, let me park my car 1 inch away from you. And then you're going to say, how am I going to move out? How am I going to reverse out? The same thing, your body, if each organ has been squashed under the pressure of the abdomen and vadated, or aajkal keh rahe hain, anything above 32 or 36 waist is going to lead you on to diabetes. That's a classic way of them saying, oh, you'll get diabetic. Yes, of course you will. Because what is happening there is you're squashing the space between the pancreas and the stomach, and then obviously the liver does not have much room, because the stomach and now vadda ho gaya, or thada rib cage nu upar nu chakkana pe ho gaya. That organs there are under, squashed, and they are not going to function the way they should. So oxygen is so important, breathing is so important. And this is where me time and yoga and silent breathing and breathing through one nostril and another, it's pure taking good oxygen, getting rid of carbon dioxide. Obviously, methane gas is another story. That's a story when putrefied poo matter is staying in the colon and toilet hajat nahi hundi for up to 2 to 3 bowel movements a day. If you're having one bowel movement, you're constipated. If you're having one every other day, you are seriously constipated. Some are opening their bowels after 3 to 4 days. You are seriously constipated. And you are now probably also heading on to a diseased colon and IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And I realized that, having studied with John Walker, that was the first protocol, was colon hydrotherapy. If you don't cleanse the gut, you have got poison and a buildup of poisonous gases and gobar gas being made in your system, which will lead on to a leaky gut, can lead on to headaches, migraines, food sensitivities, food allergies, unable to take stress, ringing in the ears. Huge problem. Red spider vision, black spots in front of your eyes, fogging out, mild dizzy spells. all because of methane gas. A human body is so beautifully encapsulated. You don't need gas, bad gas. You need the good hydrogen, you need good oxygen. And that could also mean freshening up your house and opening up the windows. So going on to the breathing exercise is so important, but then looking at toxic homes. I did a whole show on toxic home syndrome. And there are serious problems of toxic homes and toxicity within our houses of dust mites, domestic sprays ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ window cleaner ਆ ਗਏ ਨੇ wood polisher ਆ ਗਿਆ door polisher paints go and look for non-toxic paints. Oil paints are very, very toxic and you shouldn't be breathing them. Radiator paints are very toxic. You shouldn't be breathing them. You need to open your windows. Then window cleaners. Oven cleaner spray, seriously, seriously toxically for, and clearly says do not inhale, keep ventilation and stay away when you have fumigated your oven to cleanse it. Why not clean your oven every day quickly after cooking or avoiding the splashing of oil? Then you don't need, especially if you're doing a spit roast, then the oil is going to go everywhere. Maybe foil it and then open it for a little while only to brown it, but remove the fat so it's not going to spit oil anywhere, everywhere. So looking at that, and then obviously toilet bleaches. Clearly mixing up two different kinds of bleaches and brands can be seriously toxic for you. दोनों चीज़ां करोगे तो अन्य फ्यूम चढ़ेगे थानू चक्कर आ सकता है. You can pass out. Somebody in the house will get a minor headache, not knowing why they get a headache every time they walk in the house. Why do they get hyperventilation and they are wheezy? Because of the toilet sprays and the bleaches. ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ. I think one of the best investments obviously would be water softener in the house so you don't need sprays. That's one of the first best investing that you can do is water softeners in your house. Install that you don't have scaling and you don't need to buy 30 pounds of products a month. Imagine 30 pounds saving hogi thode domestic products thi, and that also includes not burning candles and looking at Chinese candles and something starting with a Y and a Z. A candles now use karo because they are so toxic. Don't mix and match, but go for soda crystals. One of the safest products, can be used widely in your dishwasher, in your washing machine, in the toilet, in the sink, in the bathroom. One of the most non-toxic products. Electromagnetic field disturbance, I look at that a lot in my clinic for patients who have electromagnetic disturbance, which is EMF. Electromagnetic field disturbance, serious problems where people are keeping their phones next to their pillows and going to bed. All through the night you have got this field radiating around your head and you wake up the next morning very groggy, very tired, thinking you've never slept through the night, but the phone is under your pillow to look at Facebook, to look at your chats, to look at your Instagram. For what? Your night sleep of 4 hours, can this 8 hours sleep? However, I don't think I need to capture that. I told you now I've only slept a total of 35 minutes and taken my superfoods and my super PINNIYA and running this show with you right now due to family gatherings. And still mentally active, touch wood. Phones, keep them away 10 feet minimum away from your bedside, and try not to inhale the fumes that I've suggested a few seconds before. Trying to keep soda bicarbonate in the house in different areas reduces the electromagnetic field disturbance. Very cheap way, you can get a big pot for 5 pounds and you need one heaped tablespoon heaped in every glass bowl and keep it behind the fridge, behind your television screen, behind your TV screens, and wherever the children are having accessibility to so many gadgets, then disposing that off after 7 days, but not inhaling it, just flush it down the toilet. one of the cheapest ways to keep electromagnetic field disturbance other than an amethyst stone that I've invested in so many places within the clinic to keep that disturbance low. Good health versus bad health, your choice. I'm only here to guide you. I'm here to say that this is what I practice in my clinic alongside with Jinane Hune Tunin Kita, whole host of Ayurveda, homeopathy, nest scanning, nutritional, doing my own filtrations and niche products of creams, potions, lotions, lots of good healthy powders, lots of good essential oils, lots of PINNIYA of different formulas, and then holistically supporting you with the juice and diet and the cosmolite treatments. And then obviously looking at, guiding you, your good choice, good food versus the bad foods. Do you want to change? Are you willing to change? Do you have the need to change, is how we started. Do you have the desire to change? If changes ਤੁਸੀਂ नहीं करोगे, then you are going into the bad lane of bad health. And when the organs start switching off, you are then going to hospital from one department to another to seek help, to get scans, to get MRIs, to get pocometer there, pocometer underneath, pocometer ears, pocometer teeth checkup. And all these things become a story. Tooth decay? But why did you get the tooth decay in the first place? Pause to think how much sugar you've had and why you're not doing proper brushing. And oral hygiene is despicable. Of at least 70% of my patients have got bad mouth oral hygiene. That's a serious problem. We seem to be wanting to do a lot of other things but don't spend time on oral hygiene. And you need to go and spend time in pedicure, manicure, get your acrylic nails and varnish changed every 3-4 days for 35 pounds. Every 4 weeks, I think, 35, 45 pounds, 65 pounds, God knows what you guys are spending on. And then looking at cosmetic ways of facial removal and all the laser treatments. Oh, they give me the jitters to get that one trial I did to decide whether I want to do laser treatment. And I thought, hell no, I can't put my patients, and every cell of mine goes through a little cringe, yet I have a good threshold of pain. Your car could be either a broken banger, as old as a broken banger, or your car could be as new as a sporty car, with the right oil, with the right fuel injectors, with the right combustion, with the right power, double turbo, and all these things. Just comparing, and if you make it as an old banger, there is always time to improve it. Let's not waste time on sulking on bad health, but moving forward to say, I want to change because I want to be what I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. People with fibromyalgia for 12 years had not seen daylight, had wept until they came to me, and within the third sitting, they have changed. Arthritis, rheumatoid, sciatica, trapped nerves, emotional problems, depression, blue light syndrome, television, blue light syndrome from the TV screens, big problem. It's comparing your good health versus bad health, but do you want a bonus in life? Life is a lottery, not monetary lottery, jodi tusi euro million paunde vagera vagera. Life itself is a lottery. Your every breath is a lottery. 100,000 beats of your heart a day is your lottery. 7 days a week you're alive is your lottery. 30 days of the month you're still working away, your body is your lottery. 12 months of the year is your lottery of life. But Shukrana usse Akal Purukh da Guru, because he's in control of life and death. He's in control of life and death, but not what women are doing as aborting children, because it's a girl gender choice. Sometimes that is such a weak choice that women are making. And balance of jeda Rabb di secret hagi, whether it's going to be a male gender or female gender, destroying that little life which is not yet come out to its fresh breath. As a child is born, the first cry a child grasps is to make the gasp of air from a mother's fetus in the embryonic sac, and that is a great joy. So let this life not be what your will is, but that God has given you this will. A human skeleton with 206 bones, 206 bones with a pivoting structure, have now one of the hardest bones that have to be burnt or incinerated or when a person has demised at 1,000 degrees, where the teeth do not get burnt unless they have been decayed by you, by bad diet, by sugar, by smoking, by tobacco pan, cocaine, by chewing lal pan and nutmeg. Smoking teeth and smokers' teeth are gross. Sit in front of a smoker and take his breath, you'd probably want to pinch your nose. So, this skeleton is so beautiful that over the skeleton we have muscles and we have cartilages and we have tendons and we have tissue and we have 7 layers before we see the upper layer of our skin. Below this is another 6 layers of the strata of the skin before we get to the bone structure, before we get to the cartilages, the tissues, the tendons, so complex. But how do you lose the collagen? Through lack of the good fats. Come back to the PINNIYA. Rebuilding of the collagen is another program that I do for knees and cracking knees and joints and neck and kangi nahi kar sakde, kanga nahi pa sakde. You cannot move your shoulder. You cannot wake up early morning without grieving. That all those things take a huge amount of toll, and loss of collagen, the jelly between your skeleton joints. If you see that skeleton image now, just look at how many joints are mobile and how much structure we can do to turn our neck 180 degrees. And our eye socket can see as far as about 180 on this side, 180 degrees. It's the birds who can see 360 degrees all round their eye sockets. That's why they are sharp, they are witty. The moment you get to a bird, it will fly because it's seen a fright and fear that you're going to harm them. So, we are seeing 7 colors of the earth, so beautiful, that nature has given. And when the bones are deprived from the good fats which are in the PINNIYA, when you're eating too much acid food, it destroys the collagen, which leads on to crackling joints and old age, or bending and walking with a stick or with a Zimmer frame. You have now, decreased and demised your body to a point of degeneration of that structure, so beautifully given by God. Food and nutrition plays a role. Food and nutrition, lack of it has now become a poison and started to eat away the whole structure of your own body. So a lot of vegetarian people, by the age they are 50, 55, they start losing weight because they don't have good protein in their diet. It's all carbohydrates and it's all cereals of stodgy cereals added in cow's milk and paneer and soya chunks, soya mince, which you think is a protein. It isn't. It is a genetically modified food. Be clear of that. Psychologically, I look at the whole thing of why this disease started in the first place. So there's a lot to gurgitate for me in that 1 hour sitting, and to understand what are the issues that have caused you to become what you are and what your thinking pattern is now. That emotional baggage is what I need to get you out and stop you from feeling rejected,